I'd like to welcome you to my studio. My name is Tammy Khan, and I've been lucky enough to be chosen to be part of Teresa at tinypandora.com's design team for 2019. We'll be bringing several projects to you throughout the year, and the first one for me is a fairy door. It's very cute, simple project. You shouldn't have any problems with it. It has a lot of room for self-expression. With Tiny Pandora's products, she has several that I did use in this video. So these are her tiny little brushes. Some of them are extremely tiny to get in all those little places that you need to get into. And these are just absolutely great for applying powders, for painting, for so many different things. I think everybody should have the entire set, and the entire set is not that expensive. Another one of my favorite things that she carries is her cane benders. There are 4 different sizes, and they are so useful for so many things. I don't even make canes, and I find uses for these every day. So get you a set of these, and if you are a cane maker, you've even got something now that makes caning even easier and more fun. And then last but not least, another one of my favorite products is Teresa Pandora's Deep Shine for Tiny Pandora, and it is wonderful. This is not a building glaze like an epoxy or Lisa Pavelka's Magic Gloss. This is to make very deep shiny areas wherever you paint it on with a brush and then UV cure it. So a lot of these products will be shown or will have been made to finish our fairy house for today. Today's project will be these fun fairy doors. To get started, we will be needing a faux wood grain, and for that we're going to start with these clays all made by Sculpey. We'll have Primo Beige, Sculpey Hazelnut, Primo Burnt Umber, and Sculpey Suede Brown. When I lay these down, you will notice that beige is very stark compared to the rest of the colors. And so to combat that a little bit, we're going to take Primo accents in bronze and add a bit to the beige. It will help just soften that starkness and we'll have a better color blend. I may also add some to the other 3 colors just for that added sparkle, because what fairy doesn't want a sparkly door? As you can see, the clay has all been conditioned, and I did add that bronze to the beige. I did also add a little bit more to each one of the rest of these colors. In this block, I added 1/4 of a segment. This is a full segment. I used 1/4 of that. In this one, I used 1/4, 1/4 in here, and 1/4 in here. We're now going to take each one of these slabs and stack them darkest to lightest. And trim them up so they are all relatively the same size. Once we've done that and removed all the scraps, the next thing that we need to do is cut it in half. So I want to see approximately where half is going to be, and we'll go right about here. And then stack one stack upon the other. Make sure that you have light to dark, light to dark. And we will then roll this all nice and flat so that it all connects to itself. I separated one stack of dark to light from the other stack, and this is what we're going to use to make our knots. So we'll take that, and you want to make a cut on either end starting from the light and going out to the dark. Those can just go right over to our scrap pile. Roll this out a little bit more, and to create the knot, we need to take this clay and roll it up. That's why it helped a little bit to go ahead and trim those edges the way we did, so that they would roll up nicely into what is going to become a little plug. Once we have a nice plug, I'm going to cut those ends off. And you can see we've got the start of a very nice spiral or knot in the wood. Let me go ahead and roll this out so that I can make a nice sausage, and then we will come back and see how that knot is looking and move forward with our faux wood. I've taken my stack and I have cut it in the middle, and here are the cute little knots that we made to go into this wood. You need to decide how you want to look at your wood. Are you going to look at it from here to here or from here to here? It's going to be very important once we start to add our faux knots. Tiny Pandora carries a wonderful set of cane benders. They come in 4 sizes, and as the name suggests, they can be used on making canes. But since I'm not a huge cane builder, let's use them to make faux wood. So I'm going to take right here and I'm going to smush this down into my clay and smush it down nice and easy. These are 6 inches long, so you've got plenty of room to put a little bit of weight on it and roll it right into place. I'm going to just roll it back and forth a tiny bit, and that should be the perfect size to put our first snake in. So I'm just going to lay him right in there, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and place one more here. So smush that in there real good and roll it back and forth for good practice, and lay that other snake right down in here. Top your stack back off. Remember to put dark side against the light side. All right, now why I said it was so important to decide how you were going to look upon your wood, we need to be sure that your knots are going to show from the end. If you are considering this the part that you're going to cut your canes through, you're never going to see those knots, and we worked awfully hard to create those. So I'm going to now trim off the little tails and continue condensing this block. This is why it is so important to know how you're going to look upon your wood cane. We want to make sure that we see the knots, and you can see here that we see them very well. I took our previous stack and I added another stack on top of it, and you can do this as many times as you please until you condense and get the lines the width you want and the colors blended the way you want. I particularly like this look because I can cut this apart for wood planks, or I can cut slices to be part of my fairy door. Now let me cut a slice off of here. And this is where you'll want your thin, sharp blade, and you can see how nicely that worked out. And we can add these side by side and continue to just make planks to build our whole fairy house. So I'm going to slice this up a bit more, and then we're going to go into working with our grays. For the next part of our fairy door, we are going to need silver primo accent, gray granite primo accent, and a little graphite pearl. I don't have a full bar of that to show you because I love this color so much I am constantly using it. And this can be mixed to your discretion. I like mine a softer silver without going too hard into my granite pearl. So it'll really be up to you and what you're going to like the best. Here you can see the back of it. See all the wonderful spots that the granite gives us. Really love the color. Then you can see here on the front, I did add a little bit of beige into this to give me a nice stone look. I didn't quite blend it in all the way here, but I wanted you to be able to see how that could give your stone another look. And I found this wonderful roller in the cake decorating department at my local hobby shop. Who knew they had such wonderful things in that aisle? So I used this to make my stone look for my fairy door. You just lay it in place and then just roll it firmly across your clay to get this wonderful imprint. You should be able to see it nicely here. Now you can make this, as I said, any shade that you wish, or you can also rub a little bit of a patina in here once your fairy door is finished. It is to your discretion how you want to cut and shape your background. For this one, I liked a very nice arch, a cathedral arch. And on the first one, which I can't reach, I need an assistant, I did a very soft arch. This one I've gone and made a deeper arch, and we're going to use our wood to decide how we want our door to look. Do we want a square door? Or would we rather have an arched door? Or do we want a fully rounded arched door? That will be completely up to you. Let me go ahead and get my wood put together and ready to make a door, and we'll see what I've come up with in just a moment. Okay, in my drawer of all kinds of goodies, I did find the perfect butterfly to put above the door instead of a window, and now I'm going to make the lichen that we'll put in different places. To do that, you need to take some shades of green that you really like and just kind of stack them together, kind of mush them. This is so scientific, it's sad. And just kind of put a few of them in there. And first, start out blending them with a toothpick. And this leaves a little bit too big of a hole for me, but it is a good way to get the lichen started and get those clays to hold together. And then you can either use a needle tool, or my favorite are small little ball tip tools. And so you have some nice blended out pieces. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the colors that I would like to use for this, and I'm going to really blend them, get them very chunky and very lichen-y. And so you take that piece, you determine where you want to put it in place, and then just kind of do the same maneuver of poking it in place. And you can put this all in the little stone areas wherever you want to add some lichen. I would definitely recommend in some of the crevices on the stonework. You could even put a little bit under your roof. You could use it for leaves and dimension on your tree. And I would put some down here in different areas. Now for the doorknob, I think I'm going to use one of these cute little key charms, because we want our fairy to feel welcome. And so for the open house, she will have a key to open that door. So I'm going to decorate this a little bit more with some more lichen, and then we'll come back and see any finishing touches. Well, I'm back to share with you the finished product. I did change a few things while we were away. I added the danglies from the little gold loops I had shown you earlier. And these are just some dragonfly charms I found in my jewelry box, and I added lots and lots of rhinestones for bling, so we can have a very blingy fairy come in here. and then added all the lichen in the different areas. And just if you want a little bit more color, you can add little dots of that color. I thought for more color I would just use rhinestones. So you can see just how much fun you can have with a fairy door and make one of your own or more for gifts. So thank you so much for sharing this video with your friends. And if you'd like, look below and you can hit like and subscribe. And that way you don't miss out on any of the great videos that the team is going to be submitting throughout the year. And you'll enjoy seeing new projects, possibly learning something new, and we'll enjoy having you tell us how wonderful we are. So thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.